Tracy McGrady, everybody agrees, is a fabulous talent, but should he be still applying his talent in college? Here's what his coach, Butch Carter, said. Quote, Tracy is not good enough or old enough to guard first-line players. How do you find time to teach a kid who didn't go to college? In the interest of the NBA, should the league put an age limit on when players can be drafted?
I don't think that there should be an age limit. I think that a good, I mean, you don't want a guy that's 12 years old, but if he's physically strong and mentally strong enough, then he should be able to play. And I believe that a good coach has to take the individual player and make that decision. He can't make a good coach isn't somebody that can coach a whole team. A good coach is somebody that can look at a player and coach him individually. And sometimes he's going to have people that are harder to work with, and you got to work with them in a different way. You got to pat them on the back. And sometimes you're going to have to kick their butt to get them to do something.
That's going to be tough, though. In the NBA, I mean, how many games them guys play during a week? You know, I mean, for like another game the next day, I mean, for him to pull him aside and say...
That's what a coach is for. A coach has got to be able to make those decisions.
For my defensive skill. You know, as a coach, I'm going to look at you and say, well, gee, I'm paying you, what, $40 million. You should automatically, even though you just came out of high school, but we got you here. Your skill
level. So it's okay, according to your argument, though, it's okay for a kid to play if he can't read.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, come on. You got to have an age limit. By the same way you got to have it in hockey, you got to have it in every sport. Rushing a kid into the game, like, what if this ruins this kid's career? This kid probably had a wonderful career if he had maybe gone to college, had really good coaching, and then was ready for the NBA. But this is a man's sport. This isn't a kid's sport.
Every situation is different. You've got to look at the player, look at his situation on his own basis, and then make a decision. You can't just say, well, okay, well, if you're 16 years old, you can't play.
Right, you can see. I mean, the only age factor comes in the fact that, okay, everybody, they want to set a limit for the age because then it sets the idea to say, well, all the 12-year-olds and everybody else, well, I'm just going to go to the NBA. Everybody's not going to make it in the NBA. So what are they going to do after that? Like you said before, they're going to fall on what? They don't have an education.
Right.
What college are they going to?
So there should be some kind of stipulation stating that, you know what, you've got to stay in school.
Yeah, that's it.
But I still don't think the question is...
You know, our society, we have certain basic freedoms, which are, if you don't want to go to school, you don't go to school. And that's what the NBA has done, which is said we cannot tell a guy, you can't play in our league.
Exactly.
I think you can and you should.
You should. I think they should.
I think you can and you should. You can. It's obviously quite easy to say you can't play until you get to this age.
Yeah, but and the thing about it, what does his age have to do with him guarding a defensive player? I mean, I just...
He's saying he's too young in terms of experience.
But I'm saying his experience, that's going to... Okay, but he's not saying he's too young experience when he dropped 24 points a game, though. You know,
he's talking about he's talking about his defense.
Yeah, exactly. So what? You know what? As a player, you know, there's some things I need to work on, even though I may be like coming up.
You're in bad shape though if you got to work on your defense because there's not a whole lot else you do.
You know, but I mean
that's what a coach is for, though.
Yeah, but a coach is also when you get to the professional.
A coach cannot teach emotional maturity.
Right.
And a coach isn't going to sit down and teach a kid how to read.
All right. Speaking of emotional maturity, one of the guys we love on this show is Jonathan Power, #1 squash player in the world. Listen to his comments that he made last week, which our audience has gone nuts about, regarding female referees in male professional sports. Here's what he had to say.
But you can't go out there and put everything on the line like you're doing in a sport and have a woman take your manlyhood away.
How's she taking away your manlyhood?
How is she doing that?
By totally making the wrong call, embarrassing you, forcing you to lose is you just...
How is the woman forcing you to lose?
Basically, when you're in the heat of competition...
That's pretty fragile manlyhood, isn't it?
No, but definitely in the heat of competition, you get a bad call, you look up, the first thing you see, woman. You don't see referee, you see woman.
Well, you know what? I don't think there's a comment that we got that's got more reaction in a long time. Hey, Landsberg, Jonathan Power was right. Men's and women's sports are completely different. I don't believe women have the balls to referee the much tougher of the audience that we've received. But on the other side, Michael, a ref is a ref. Gender should not be an issue. If an athlete's ego and self-esteem are so low and fragile, maybe he should seek therapy or get out of the sport. And again, the audience has been divided. We'll ask these guests what they have to say. And of course, we want to know what you have to say. Reach us via the website, the email, or fax us. Back to discuss that issue in a moment.
Paul Tracy comes to the line.